So, anyways, hey, great job with the images, James. That was boom. You know, I
I
mean,
tried.
even Rutledge was.
So speaking with that, Sam, we're going straight to you so I can get your
Are we
images
going
up.
to meet? Are we going to meet
Yeah,
Taro? Or?
let's go, Sam. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my notes up. Okay, so let's see. Okay, a few days ago, uh, Aston Martin, our favorite, well, one of my favorite British car makes, uh, released a few images of a very, very, very cool car that I don't, unless you guys are always on the internet, you might not have seen it, but this is from Aston Martin's new Q division, right? Their little specialty car division. And I'm sure the Q is from James Bond's Q division. But
You're very correct, Sam. Very correct.
Thank you. And they just announced this incredible one-off custom model called the Aston Martin Victor. And think of it as a tuned version of the 177, if you guys remember that supercar that Aston Martin made a few years ago, because that's pretty much what this car is based on. The design was inspired by the V8 Vantage of the 1970s and 80s, which I totally loved.
It's a good-looking car.
Yeah, well, those old V8 Vantages from the 70s and 80s, I mean, they, you know, at first I kind of go, wow, it kind of looks like a Mustang from the front.
Yeah, it did. I was about to say that, but maybe the Mustang looks like the Astons now. That's
yeah, well, yeah.
Could be the other way around.
But to me, no, back then, you know, the old, even the original Mustang had, the, you know, it had a little bit of a similarity in the front end lights, but you know, the Aston Martin version was a lot more pumped up, and I thought, you know, I really liked this car. You know, this was back in the 70s, 80s, the V8 Vantage, because it had that British, you know, total British attitude, you know, and with this new car, I'm totally keen on the round headlights. And if you look at the car from every angle, everything.
No, Sam,
yes.
You're missing out the big thing here. This in the center is why everyone loves this.
Yes,
car.
yes, but you know what? I'm going to the interior after I talk about the exterior. So can you? You're skipping on me here, James.
Look, what do you want? The front. You talk about the headlights.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, this is, you know what? This is prose. This is like art. Okay, let me get to it. Okay, hold on. How do I get this? Hold on. Oh.
No pressure, Sam, but we're waiting on you.
No. Hold on. But you're this.
The silence is killing.
Deafening.
We're losing viewers.
Yes.
They're dropping off. They're not just
James,
leaving.
hey, James, can you take off the image for a sec? Because I got to get back to my screen, to my notes. And there you go. Thank you. Let me get back. Now you could go back. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry, Sam. I'm sorry I have to accommodate everyone else and all the thousands of viewers so you can move your notes.
I have to, well, I have to read them, don't I? So anyways, it's hard to tell the color of this car from the images, but it's a new pastel called Pentland Green, which I would probably translate as expensive version of British racing green. The carbon fiber monocoque chassis is adapted from the 177, and under the hood, powering this thing, is a 7.3 liter V12, which is also from the 177. This one has been tweaked by Cosworth. So if you want to know what it puts out, they're saying 836 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque, which is crazy, a lot of horsepower. And the body's probably lighter than the 177 because there's tons of carbon fiber everywhere. The engine comes mated to a double clutch 6-speed manual made by Graziano, Italian company. And let's see, I don't know, is that image, James, of the inboard dampers? Did I include them? Because judging by the inboard dampers and springs on this thing, which is really trick, and it's the same as their Vulcan race car, this thing is going to handle like a race car. But Aston did say they tuned it for a smooth ride quality on streets. But it still handles itself on the track, which I believe. And knowing, you know, Aston, they're like one of the best at making these touring cars, these Grand Tours. So the 6-piston Brembo brakes with carbon ceramic rotors, so very expensive brakes. and they said the Aston, the Victor, generates downforce about the same of a Vantage GT4 race car. So this thing is pretty much everything you want in a Grand Tourer, which is like pretty much a race car that you can take on the street comfortably. And, you know, I love the exterior design. I think you guys, it sounds like you guys do too. I mean, if this was in my garage, I don't even have to drive it. I could just sit all day. And getting to the interior, it really does look like it's designed for a classic gentleman. Right, James?
Yes, I'd agree.
Yeah. You could see the exquisite use of leather and that solid walnut shift knob, which I think is just really just kind of the, you know, the topping, the creme de la creme of this thing. And then otherwise, everything about this interior is pretty much colored green. And I think probably the reason for that is you're going to need plenty of it to buy this thing. We have no idea what it costs. But I think it's safe to say that our names aren't going to be on this on the buying list here. But James, I love the steering wheel too. You know, kind of.
How much do you think it's going to be? What?
I have.
Well, they're only making. They're only making the one. It's a custom order.
It's a one.
I mean, it's a rebodied 177.
Oh, okay, God.
Rebodied, yeah, and lighter with a little more power. You know, so it's So it's you know, what do you think? About a couple mil?
Well,
sure. I'd say it being maybe close between 1 and 2 seems sensible for me, a sensible option.
But it is a beautiful car, I think. So, and James, you being Brit, I'm sure you agree.
Funnily enough, I don't actually like the look of this one.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. For me,
James, go back to the exterior. You don't like that?
To me,
awesome. It looks like the Batmobile.
It does look like Batmobile. Yeah.
There's parts of it I like, but there's also parts of it that I'm not really a big fan of, if that makes sense. I could certainly understand the appeal.
I want to hear what you like and not like.
So I really like the aero on the car, and I think the wheels are incredible. And the interior is truly a work of art.
Right.
But I'm not such a fan of the cutout, like the circle, the U shape, and the cutout in the bonnet. And so
what if it's functional? It's probably cool in the engine, you know.
No, it's definitely. Don't dispute that it's functional. For me personally, it's not really my style of the front aesthetics. I think are a bit too much for me. It just looks like it's trying a bit too much. I would like my £2 million supercar to be a bit more understated. If that makes sense.
Really? No.
Yes, I'm a gentleman, Sam. I'm not a showboating here. I'm of old money. I'm not new money like yourselves who wants to let everyone know. I'm going to be going out there in something classic. I'm a gentleman, Sam, and that comes with experience, not with money.
I'm a gentleman also, but I think
that's to be disputed. Tara's told me that's to be disputed, but I can understand your liking of this. I do understand.
I like this. How about the rear? Once you get to the rear, real quick there.
So, James, do you think it's a little too gaudy, a little too?
A little too showy, huh? A little too
showy as well at the back. I think like the spoiler at the back, so it seems disproportionate to me in the text for Aston Martin and the lights. It just seems like there's a big gap on the spoiler as opposed to where it's. So for me, that's just how I feel, and I just don't think the proportions are right on that back end. I think the spoiler's the right proportion, but when it's added with the insignia
black space, right?
And the text and the lights, it seems a bit disproportionate to me. But that's from like I said, if someone was to give me this car, I'd be like, look, thank you very much, I'll happily take the keys. But if I was looking to purchase this and signing off on the design, these are some of the questions I'd ask of the Q team to make changes for. From me, if I was making a custom one-off Aston Martin.
Wow, pretty critical coming from
To be fair, funnily enough, I actually prefer the original Aston Martin that was used in the Living Daylights, where they had the scene in the skis on top, where they went he used the cello.
Yeah. Well, I think almost all the Aston Martins from that era.
Well, they just released a special edition of that as well, Sam, to coincide with Tomorrow Never Dies. They've done a special 25.
Oh, do you have an image of it?
Yeah, bear with me. I'll just stop this and I'll just pull it up. One moment, caller.
But Taro, you like that?
I love it. I love it.
I think it's pretty badass. Just depending what the V8 Vantage is.
I love the aggressive look. I admit it's not a subtle car, I mean, you're going to get noticed.
Like you said, it looks like a black Batmobile.
Yeah, it looks like a Batmobile. I mean, you can see the carbon fiber, just like screaming speed.
So,
And
but
look at
James,
you.
you don't if you're driving a $1 million car, you don't want to be noticed.
No, not at all. Now I'm a gentleman. I want people to know I've got as little money as possible.
Maybe you're just shy.
Exactly. So that was the limited edition they did for the No Time to Die.
Oh,
So
okay.
I like it because it's got the skis in the back that hark back to the living.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it looks in this
But
photo.
Aston Martin have been very busy because not only that, they also did this, which I posted about yesterday.
Yes, I did. I saw that.
Which was the Junior, which I think is a lot of fun.
Wow. Yeah.
It is.
That
I
looks
mean,
like a lot of fun.
it's a little bit more better on the price pocket than the Bugatti as well. So if you wanted to go and compare and contrast, but yeah,
I would rather have my kid. If I had a son who liked driving, I would rather have him driving this than the Bugatti. Actually.
Well, each their own, Sam. Each their own. It's a tough life out there for you and your children with their Bugattis and their Aston Martins. But look, it is what it is,
Okay, so anyways, let's see. It looks like a thumbs up from me, a thumbs up from Taro, but not quite the enthusiastic thumbs up from James.
Well, look, I'll be very honest and say I'd give this car a thumbs up all day. I mean, the idea of having the audacity, one might say, to get a custom one-off Aston Martin and getting it spec like this is fantastic. Very much like the idea, the principle behind it. For me, though, the styling is not my type, but there's a concept as a whole of a Carrozera car, what Aston Martin would make. Great idea. I love it. Love it.
But that's why we have. So I'm going to give a thumbs down for you, though, James.
Well, if you say so, we're giving thumbs down, but I'm not saying that, but you can.
Well, a thumb sideways, then we won't go quite down.
We'll go like that.
Okay. So anyways, okay, moving on.